In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Ultimate Editing Photoshop Actions. So I'm going to use this photo here as an example for a demonstration of the actions. And after you open up your photo, before you start using the actions, there's just a few things you should check just to make sure that the action will run without any errors. So first go to the image mode and make sure your photo is the RGB color mode 8-bit Canon. And choose the image size from here. And for best results, you should use the images that are around from 20, 25 to 40, 45, 100 pixels wide or high. All right. So now to load the actions, just go to Window, Actions, click on the menu icon over here, choose Load Actions, and just select the action file that can be downloaded and choose Load. And the actions folder will appear here in the Actions panel. When you open the folder, you'll find the actions here. So what we got here are over 55 actions and preset combinations. And as you can see, the actions are grouped. So first group we got here are the tone actions. So we got 5 tone actions here that you can choose from. Next, what we got here is the black and white action, and it says here base. So this is just a base black and white effect that you can use in combination with these other actions to further build the effect and create more advanced black and white effects. So next what we got are the color actions. So we got 5 color actions here. Then we got the sharpening actions. So we got a fine, medium, and hard sharpening. And we got this one here, the HDR action. It says advanced here. So this action, you can combine it with the other actions as well. So this is just here, so you know that the action have the both color, tone, and sharpening adjustments. So I would suggest that you, if you wish to use this action, to first run this action, and then if you wish to run additional actions, run them after you run this action here. Because if you, for example, run the sharpening action and then run the HDR action that also creates the sharpening, you might get too much of the sharpening effect. So if you're using this action here, you can run this action first. Other actions can be combined into any order that you want, so you can play them in order that you like. And next what we got here is the Cyberpunk. It's a bonus section, and here we got some preset combinations. All right, so these are the combinations of these different color looks with different tones, and also got the black and white HDR combination here, and we got the Cyberpunk combinations with these tone actions. All right, so how to use the actions? To just select the action and click play. So I'm going to go through all these actions now to see, so you can see how each action works. So you select the tone fade action, the first action we got here, and just click play. All right, just like that. And you see the action also add a color code if you combine the actions, so you can easily manage the layers. So the results that you get are fully layered and customizable. You can make any changes. So if you open the folder, you'll find all the layers here. So what you can do is you can double click on the thumbnail of any of these layers and make any adjustments that you like. So depending on the adjustment layer, some adjustment layers are just customized here in the properties panels. All right. And for some layers, like the gradient map, like this layer here, the contrast layer, if you wish to change the contrast, you just change the opacity. So all the layers that you customize by changing the opacity, you can either click on the word opacity and drag it aside, or you can click on this arrow here and then just move the slider left or right. Okay, and what you can also do is, instead of customizing individually each of these layers, what you can do is you can select this folder and then just change the opacity of this folder. All right, just like that. But if you need more precise editing, you can just customize each of these layers here separately. So first we got here is the brightness and contrast layer. So double click on this layer thumbnail, and now using these 2 sliders, you can adjust the brightness and the contrast. Then we got a tone. So this one is a little bit more advanced for customizing. You can also move these points, or we can add new points and customize the tone adjustment. You can also change the opacity if you wish. And the vibrance layer, you got two sliders here to adjust the vibrance and saturation. Here we got a contrast layer and a brightness layer. So how I adjust this brightness layer is that you got these 5 sliders here. And with this slider here, you can boost the shadows. This one here is going to boost the highlights. This one here is going to boost or fade the midtones. And you can use this one here to fade the shadows, or this one here to fade the highlights. But again, you can customize these layers in the properties panels, and you can also change their opacities. Sometimes, if you don't need that much detail, that much precise adjusting, you can just change the opacity of this layer, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to delete this folder and run the other action, the tone brighten, right? So again, everything is layered. Okay. Next, we got the tone boost. So this is actually going to boost the tones, but we're going to boost the midtones. So different than these two boost actions here. This one here are going to boost the shadows and highlights more than the midtones. Right? So we got to boost low action, and we got to boost high action. And what you can also do is you can run one action, okay, and you can hide this folder. You don't have to delete it, and you can just run the other action, and then you can quickly switch between the folders and see which of these actions is gonna better go with your photo. What you can also do is you can, of course, combine multiple actions. You can combine multiple tone actions as well. All right. So you can, for example, run the boost action, and then you can run the fade action and get the fade tones with the boosted highlights and shadows. All right. And next we got here is the black and white base action. So as I can mention, this is the base black and white effect. You can change the opacity of this layer if you wish. You can use it to desaturate the photo only a little bit if you like. So you can just drop down the opacity or just use the full black and white effect. Okay, so now we got the color actions. All right, so the first one here is the fantasy color look. So again, you can here customize these layers if you wish. Here we got some different layers. All right, so you can here adjust through the all the different colors in your photo. You can make separate adjustments for each color. Here you can change the colors of the shadows, midtones, and highlights if you like. Here we got the vibrance and saturation. Right? And again, you can just play with the opacity of the main folder. Next we got here is the color look vibrant action. So just gonna run the action. And as you can see, this action is gonna pretty much boost the vibrance of the photo. And again, you can make any adjustments here. Right? Next we got is the vintage look. Now we got the warm color look. And we got a cold color look. All right, so here we got the Cures adjustment layer, the layer that we had with the tone actions, but here what you really need to customize are the colors, right? So you can customize this cure to adjust the specific highlights, shadows, and midtones of the red, green, and blue colors in your photo. Right? So now what we got are the sharpening actions. So this one here is the fine sharpening. And as you can see, this is actually going to sharpen these small details in your photo. And if you wish to lower the amount of sharpening, you can just drop down the opacity. Right? So we got a medium sharpening. These actions are gonna sharpen the larger details as well. And we got a hard sharpening action. So this action is really going to boost the clarity of the whole photo and bring up all the details in your photo. And what you can do is you can, of course, combine the sharpening action, so you can use this action to reveal larger details and then run fine sharpening to reveal small details. And then just adjust their opacities. All right. So now we got the HDR action, so just gonna select the action, click play. All right, here it is. So what you got here is the brightness and contrast adjustment, so you can just customize this layer using the sliders here. And here we got a tone adjustment layer, we got a contrast, we got a vibrant saturation, and we got here the fine and harsh sharpening. So you can change the opacity of these layers. All right. And here we got the Cyberpunk bonus action, so just gonna select the action and click play. Here it is. So what we got here is the photo filter adjustment layer. You can adjust the density of the filter here. And you can also change the filter, and you can also use the color here if you like. So you select the color, you click this color box and just use any color that you like. It's going to affect the highlights in your photo, right? As you can see. And this layer here is mainly responsible for the color change. So you can double click on this layer thumbnail and you can go through these individual colors and make any changes if you like. All right, so you can adjust the hue, saturation, and the lightness of each color here. Here we got the gradient map adjustment layer. It's gonna change the color a bit farther. And last we got a vibrance and saturation layer. All right. And last what we got here are the preset combinations. Right, so I'm not going to run through all these actions, just going to run a few of them. So for example, we got the black and white fade action. So this is the combination of the black and white effect and the fade tone effect. So you select the action, you click play, and you got the faded black and white effect. Everything again is fully layered and customizable. All right. So we got the fantasy HDR action. Okay, so I'm gonna run this one here. So this is the Cyberpunk with the combination of the boost low tone action. Everything is fully layered. All right, and last I'm just gonna create some combination that I'm going to use with this example here. So, and to show you how can you combine multiple actions. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna run the boost low tone action, right? And I'm just going to drop down the opacity a little bit, just like that. And then I'm going to run the tone fade action to fade the tones in the photo and create that matte effect. And now I'm going again to change the opacity of this layer. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run some color action. Okay, use this one here. And last what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a sharpening action. So I'm going to use a fine sharpening action with this example. Just going to click play. Here it is. I'm going to leave settings as default. All right, so let's quickly check the before and after effects. So this is the before, and this is the after. So as you can see, you can create a lot of different unique combinations and create many cool looks with your photos. And once more, you can combine the actions in any order that you like. So you can experiment with different orders, and if you've seen each action works, you just select the action, click play, so you can really quickly make a lot of adjustments to the photo. And I hope you understood everything. But if you still need any help or you got any questions, feel free to contact us. Thanks for watching.